Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video. And in this video I'm going to be going through some of my recent pickups that I've got for my collection. We've got one TVC item, a couple of older figures, and all of the stuff that you can see in front of you here, which I'll tell you about in a second. But if you do happen to enjoy the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. I want to say a big thank you to everyone that's been watching the videos lately. Some of the videos that I've been putting out have been having really good views, so thank you so much for that. Thank you for the support. With all that being said, what we have in front of you here is a 3D printed battle damaged laser cannon from Hoth, which I think is absolutely awesome. I picked this up from Ian Butler, IB3D. I will leave a link in the description below. And basically he had this amazing Hoth setup with vintage figures and loads of the stuff that he's 3D printed and painted in this huge Hoth display at Echo Live. It was absolutely amazing, and I really wanted to buy one of these battle damaged turrets. Now, he couldn't take it out of the display at the show because it was part of the display, so he didn't have them for sale. However, on Facebook it popped up that after the event he was selling them, so I managed to pick this one up for £20, which I thought was an absolute bargain. I'll show you in closer detail in a second. And when it arrived, a bunch of these like barrels and chests and blocks turned up as well. So Ian was very, very kind enough to, you know, throw in a few extras for me, which is brilliant. Thank you so much, Ian. And they're awesome. You know, these are going to go great in any of my displays. Obviously, this one's going to go in my Hoth display. Now all I need to get is the actual full cannon. But that particular set, I believe, is a Legacy Collection Battle Pack, and it's quite expensive. I think it comes with an ATST as well, which I don't actually need. Anyway, let's take a closer look at this battle damage cannon. Okay, so here we are. So I do believe that this is based on the actual vintage version of the cannon, or it might be the Legacy Collection one. I can't really remember, but you can see here it's got the steps leading up into the back and loads of battle damage going on. Of course, it's painted white for Hoth, but it's got loads of like weathering on it and scarring. It's even got some like snow effects on the steps there, and also on these bits here, little bits of snow detail and everything like that. And all of this damage here where it's been basically blown up by the ATATs, which is awesome. So, you know, I had the figure in there using it as cover. I thought that looked pretty cool. So that's how I'm going to have it in my display with the rest of my Hoth stuff. You can see that sort of metal bit there that's coming up. And it's just, I don't know, I just love it. I think it's been really, really well made. As I said, I really did want to pick one of these up at the event at Echo Live, so I was really, really pleased that I was on Facebook at the correct time when he posted them after the event, and I managed to pick up one of the two that he had for sale. But I'm sure, you know, if you get in contact with Ian and you wanted one of these, link is in the description below, you know, or anything else that he 3D prints, you know, he does a great job. You can ask him to paint them for you, or they can arrive unpainted and you can do it yourself. I'm absolutely rubbish, as you know, at painting and anything arty, so I would always need them painted. But yeah, that is fantastic. So I'm really, really happy with that. It's going to look amazing in the display. And then just a couple of the other things that you've sent me here, which are these little, I mean, this looks like one of those lightsaber boxes that you would get from Galaxy's Edge. That's kind of what that looks like, a little crate. And then we've got various little barrels and everything. You know, you can see some of the paint detail on there. Crates. I particularly like these barrels with the paint apps on the top there. I think they look pretty good. And they're super lightweight. You know, it's all 3D printed stuff. You've got these cubes, classic Star Wars sort of blocks with that detail on there. I really like that. And then you've just got like a standard barrel here. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you think of Ian Butler's 3D printed stuff. Let me know what you think of this in particular. And as I said, if you do want one, link is in the description below for Ian Butler's page, IB3D. And I'm just going to clear all this away now and just show you the rest of the things that I've picked up. Okay, so recently on Star Action Figures, they've been doing these warehouse finds where they essentially find older figures that, you know, are still in the warehouse, still in cases. You know, they managed to come across them and they put them up for sale. I did miss out on the Cad Bane that's on this card back. Missed out on that. It's a blink and you'll miss it. There's, you know, they might only have like one case of each figure, and I completely missed Cad Bane, which I was rather gutted about. However, I was lucky enough to pick up these, so we're going to just take a quick look at them. So we've got Ayla Secura there. I believe that's the Clone Wars version, I think. have to let me know in the comment section below. Yeah, it says the Clone Wars there. You know, I'll have to compare this against the TVC version, but I don't actually have Ayla Secura loose in my collection, so I'm hoping that that figure is very similar to the TVC one, and then, you know, I can just use her basically. This is the like movie heroes line, I do believe. And yeah, I also got a clone trooper, standard white clone. That's the antenna mold, and he comes with that sort of, I think that's a jetpack. Something that I don't really need. Yeah, it's like a backpack that has spring open wings, so it's got some play feature to it. You know, I didn't really want it for that. It's just a case of it is there, and you know, I thought, you know, another white clone. You can never have too many of those. And then I got both of these Qui-Gons, because what I'm going to do with this one is amazing because the light still works. Look at his lightsaber. You ready? His lightsaber still glows after all this time, which is fantastic. Now, the figure of this one isn't great. I believe that this one is the TVC one, I believe, because I think this line came out in around, what, 2011, 2012? It says Hasbro 2011 on there. So right when the vintage collection was around, TVC 1.0, these were out as well, and they were generally repacks basically. So I think that this is the Qui-Gon Jinn that you get in the vintage collection minus his cloak. Now the TVC one always had a very, very poor head sculpt. You can see there, it looks awful. However, this one I felt looks a lot better. So I'm hoping that I can take the head off of this one, plonk it on that one, and then I'll have a better Qui-Gon. Certainly not a definitive. We need an all new Qui-Gon. This one, you know, doesn't look great, but it's got the light up lightsaber, which is a pretty cool feature, I guess, especially as it still works. That is quite unbelievable, really. So I picked up those four from the Movie Heroes line. As I said before, they did have Cad Bane. He was the first one to go up, and I completely missed it. Absolutely gutted about that, because that was the Clone Wars version of Cad Bane, which I do not have. But, you know, maybe I'll get one in the future. Next up, I managed to pick up some 5 POA is not okay. Unless Hasbro are never going to make them in the vintage collection. And I think Solo is so far now in the rearview mirror that we're never going to be getting a Val or any of those other characters from Solo anytime soon in the vintage collection. So if I want any type of display for Solo, then I had to pick these up. Now, my son had these a long time ago. They're in his collection somewhere. But, you know, all of these figures that I've got here that I'm showcasing in this video today, I'm going to use as, like, you know, opening figures videos that I do where I open older figures. So you will see me open some of these and check them out. You know, for example, I've never opened this guy. And he's a Pike, isn't he? He's from the Pike Syndicate. So he probably will go quite well with the Book of Boba Fett figures, maybe. You know, with Cad Bane and Boba and the Mandalorian, things like that. At least just have one of them. You know, as we know, this is Key Tolsite. He's from Solo, as are all of these characters. But, you know, I thought I'd pick them up because, as I say, I just don't think they're ever going to do them in TVC. And they're always quite good sculpts, these. I mean, that is a good Val from Mimban. But, of course, you know, lacks articulation. But just standing there on a shelf, you know, it'll do for now until they make her, if and when, which is probably never. So that's why I've picked them up. And finally, the only actual TVC item that I picked up was this special action figure set. This is the Dr. Aphra with her 2 droid set. Now, I do already own this. Of course I do. You know, I got it when it first came out. My version is the US version with the single language. This one has the multi-language. But this box is in tatters, basically. It's in a really, really bad way. We've got some marks going on there. And also the bubble has come completely loose. So I was happy to pick this up like this because, you know, I have never opened and reviewed this set. I never did it at the time because I didn't want to open it, and we got Dr. Aphra loose. I've always wanted the 2 droids loose, but never enough to actually open up the set, that, you know, the one set that I had. Now I've got this one that's already open because the bubble has basically fallen off the card. Then I've got no reason to keep this one carded, plus, you know, it's damaged all over the place. So at some point, whether it's going to be in an opening figures video or I might review this one completely separately, I haven't decided yet. But I do love droids. I love droids in the collection. And this is the only way that you can get these two droids currently. You've got the 000 there, which is, you know, based on the Vintage Collection C3PO mold, which is a terrible figure, really. But that one there looks great, doesn't he? BT1, with all those munitions coming out the side of his head. Fantastic looking droid, that one. So looking forward to have those loose in my collection. And as I said, because it's damaged, I've got no qualms about opening up this at all. I'm glad to have it. Alright then guys, so that's it. That's pretty much everything that I've shown you in the video in front of you here now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, specifically about the IB3D Hoth laser cannon there, the battle damaged Hoth laser cannon, which I think is flipping awesome. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to my Patreon supporters and channel members for the extra support you give my channel. It is massively appreciated, so thank you so much. Thanks for watching everybody, and we shall see you on the next one.